So this is Clockwork Knight. This was a launch title for the Sega Saturn. It's got really floaty controls. This first level's pretty easy. Unfortunately, also, I can only capture this in 30 FPS, so I don't know how well the invincibility animation looks.
The way the game was originally intended, right? 30 frames a second.
But this game actually has tons and tons of 60 FPS effects for like fake transparency. Like the invincibility animation looks like that. One of the bosses at the end flashes the screen at exactly 60 FPS, and so like it always looks like either like a pure white background or the normal background. This game also is like really short. The Sega Saturn, when it was released like 3 weeks ahead of schedule, and like Sega didn't tell anyone that. This is a first-party game, but like it's really clear that they weren't done with this, because then like I think 10 months later they released Clockwork Knight 2, which is really just the second half of the game. And then like in Japan they released them together on one disc, which is really what it should have been all along. And like if you start up the American version of the second game, it says instead of start game, it says part 2, because this isn't like, this doesn't really feel like an entire game. So right here we're using a secret exit. Before I started running the game, no one knew about these secret exits, or at least there are 2 that are faster, and then there are like 3 that are dramatically slower than not using them. But that skips like 30 seconds of level to use that exit. These bosses are also really weird, just weird design. This boss is not bright blue in the Japanese version. I don't know why they changed the doll to be like just electric blue, but here it is. And also, as you damage it, it slowly like will begin to turn pink. It's really weird.
It's weird in a game that's already weird, right?
Well, it's weird they made. Yeah, it's weird they made the change. Like I don't know why they decided to change it. Also, this is called a hat trick. You can get stuck in the hat. This is like in Europe and like Australia, when you hear someone say hat trick, that's what they're talking about right there.
Good work there. Working through
it. So that boss is usually pretty easy. All the other bosses can really easily like be 10 seconds faster than normal, or like 20 or 30 slower than normal. Like there's a huge variability in how long the bosses can take. Ooh. So if you're very careful, you can just run through that. Oof, come on, be a team player. That's also something where if you reload the game, like you, or I guess if you just die on the level and starts over, it loads slightly different when that happens, and so you then can't make that right underneath that boss. We also want to take damage earlier rather than later, right there on those bowling pins. Yeah, these guys are always trolls. Come on, be a team player with that. I'm sure there's like a really fast, very tricky way to get around them, but damage boosting doesn't take that much time, especially because I think you'd have to do some really funky jumping to like actually not get hit by them. And this is the train level coming up. This is the hardest. This is one of the harder levels in the game. It's probably the only level that has like really serious like execution to it.
We have time for a quick donation?
Do.
Well, we've got $20 from our fantastic commentator, Lap Mackey. Says, good luck, Emily. Let's hit 6K. On that note, we're just shy of $500 away from 6K. I know this is a bit of a short run, but I believe in y'all. I think we might be able to do it. We've got 800 people watching right now. I think we can reach 6K in the next 10 minutes. What about y'all?
And folks, as far as I mean, Emily, we were talking about this before, but I mean, this could be the first time Clockwork Knight has ever been seen at any marathon. So
I think it is, great. And I know there's like there are fans of Clockwork Knight out there. When I started running, like there were a bunch of people who like put comments on the videos and stuff that I just like, I had no idea that there were that many people who were interested in this game.
Who would have thought?
So this boss is kind of funky. The number of times it lets you hit it each cycle. Oh, okay, that's really bad. Yeah, so you flew away right away. The number of times it lets you hit it each cycle depends on how you hit it. Like if you get both of the little footballer guys, you throw both of them at it, you can hit it like a large number of times. If it blocks either one, it won't let you hit it that much. Also, if it blocks your first move, you only get one hit off too. But see, I got a lot of hits off because I got both the footballer guys off. So like that's the other thing. If I miss with one, I'm just gonna like destroy the other one. I'm not gonna actually throw it at him because that would make it slow. Ideally, if you get good, yeah, there we go. Ideally, you can do that in 2 cycles, but because he blocked one of the footballers, it went to a 3rd cycle. All the bosses are kind of trolly like that, where they can just do extra cycles, sort of like if you just get a little unlucky.
I was mentioning this when I was watching you play it the other day, that I love the look and the aesthetics of the game. The camera movement that we saw there, is that controlled by you, or is that just the game choosing to
That's
zoom out and zoom
all
in?
up to the game.
Okay,
Also,
got
this is, yeah, it's all up to the game. So if you have 5 or more coins at the end of a room, which is like a world in a normal game, but you're moving through different rooms of the house, you go to that roulette, which takes like an extra 20 seconds, including loading times. We have a strategy to actually skip that, but it's really difficult. And we're probably going to use that in the future, but right now we just see that on every world after the end of the first one. So this is the kitchen. The kitchen has ice physics, which actually is a really good thing in this game because normally it's really slow whenever you attack while you're on, oh, come on, be a team player. Normally it's slow when you attack while you're on the ground because your like character stops moving altogether. But when on the levels where there's ice physics, you can just keep attacking and like your momentum will carry you through. It's basically no slower. So that actually makes the ice physics make the game easier, or at least faster.
I gotta tell you, ice physics in the kitchen kind of sounds a little thrown in there, but apparently we weren't done with ice physics in the 32-bit era.
Oh man, so I guess not. So there's a funny thing that happens in this game. I think you saw it when I bounced off the scale the first time. If you are moving upward and you just clip the edge of a platform, you'll pop up onto that platform. Like your jump won't be a team player here. Like that. I didn't actually complete my jump. I just clipped up onto the platform. That jump right there on those little near the burners, near the stove burners, you have to clip up onto that, or else you will take damage, and because you're at 1 health there, you will die. And that's, I'm sure that there's like some way you can be super careful to avoid it, but it can happen really easily where you just die there. Fortunately, like that's what was supposed to happen right there. We didn't actually finish the jump, we just clipped up on top. Fortunately, we beat the train level with less than 30 seconds off of the in-game timer, which you can add time to that, which is if you pick up clocks. But that means that we got like a ton of extra lives also, because that gave us like 1 million points.
Nice.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
In 1 second after we start this boss. So this boss is really troll. Oh, never mind. Yeah, we do. Yeah, never mind. I got confused.
All right. I just want to shout out because you said that you have a lot of people who are really interested in this game. Well, they're showing up for it. We've got $250 from Caltho.
Wow.
Thank you so
yeah.
much. Calth, all right, yeah. And the comment is, great run so far and awesome work getting this amazing game to a speedrun event. Cheering for you. Again, thank you so much for your generosity towards the Trevor Project.
Health is the world record holder. Last night I actually got a PB that was within 3 seconds of world record. So I'm nipping at his heels again.
And thank you for showing up. Wow, that's a great donation. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah, that was the second kitchen level. The actual cycle you end up on is really highly variable, and that was a kind of a rough cycle. So this boss, there is also a glitch we can get. If you see, we have to attack it in the feet, and then we attack it for a while. Once it's like got the pot knocked off of it, if you attack it on the exact same frame that he's going to get back up and get into the pot, here, I'll try. There we go. We got it. Although this is, see, this happens sometimes where it's not actually fast always. So that's somewhere. What happens when that happens is that in addition to the hitbox to like damage him and the hitbox for the pot, it duplicates the hitboxes a second time and puts them in sort of weird places. Sometimes you get really lucky and you can just like just keep attacking him right there. Sometimes you have to turn around. In that case, the pot hitbox got duplicated right over me, and so I got like shot across the map, and then I took damage because the edges of the map also have like damage planes, but you can only get them in certain situations. So yeah, this boss is weird.
What
Also, you can
exactly
fly.
is it? It's like, how do you describe this boss?
I think it's supposed to be like a salt or pepper shaker, but it's really weird because then it looks like it's inflated. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with this boss.
Yeah, that makes sense. This is a normal kitchen, you know, something you'd find in the kitchen.
I have that in my kitchen, don't you?
Yeah, right, exactly. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing to
Yeah.
mine. I'll tell you.
Yeah. So the other thing is the number of times the pot goes back and forth is variable. So that was a reasonably fast boss fight, but I got unlucky with the glitch for where the hitboxes ended up. So like, yeah, the bosses can be super trolls in this game. This is one of the levels with the smooth jazz background music. Oh, we got an extra life. That's important, you know.
Always good to have the extra, you know, the security blanket.
We already have so many because of
Oh, God.
with the train level. You just get so many if you get that secret bonus on the train. Oh, we got another extra life. Oh,
Hey.
we're safe to go here.
Got some to burn.
So, yeah, so this room is completely on cycles. If I were to do a task trick, I could get one cycle ahead, but we can't. So like, it's not that hard to actually like get a basically perfect room here. Because yeah, look at that. See, we had all that time to get here before this went down.
Can you pick
just
up
ran
all
up
enemies, or is it
here.
just in that instance?
It's just enemies you can knock down. Like these, see these guys, I knocked them down so I can pick them up. We're gonna do a little clip here. So what's happening there is that normally this thing will kill you if it touches your head while it's falling, but if you crouch, then you lower your head. You stand back up and your head is up inside it. And there also is a kill plane inside it. But the thing is the crushing plane, like as it's crushing you, that will kill you even if you're invincible. But the inner kill plane cares about whether you're invincible or not for some reason. So if I have the invincibility, I don't die. And that's also how we do the task trick in theory. We'd get like invulnerability off of one of the enemies blowing up and then do that same trick to zip up inside there. But that's like really, really difficult, so we don't do that.
Heck yes, speedrunning tech.
Yeah,
cool.
that's one of the only other actual speedrunning tricks. Also, these enemies here, to hit them like to hit these enemies as you're jumping at them is the timing's weird. Like there, it made the sword sound, and then I took damage after like the sword came out, which is like the timing is not what it looks like with those guys. Fortunately, we got bonus health by picking up the gold gear in the secret room in the last level, and because of that, we have one additional health rep more than normal. This is another secret exit that people weren't using originally. This cuts out like 30 or 40 seconds, and by far the hardest platforming in the entire game. We're now coming to the attic boss, which also there's a photosensitivity warning for the end of this boss. It's pretty brutal. They weren't really considering that when they made a lot of these older games.
This is pretty aggressive. It's what I just saw it the other night, Emily, and I can agree with you. It's pretty aggressive photosensitivity, so if you need to, look away.
Yeah. This boss also has, like, how this boss takes damage is really weird and mysterious. Like, it's not the number of hits in each phase. It's like you have to get it to the final phase before it starts taking real damage, and that's based on a combination of number of hits and also time passed, and it's just really strange. And sometimes this boss will be like 10 seconds faster than normal for no apparent reason. Oh, be a team player here. Oof. Okay, that's unfortunate. So during these phases, yeah, there we go. I have to hit him with the head. I'm gonna do something a little safer here. During this phase, you can just attack him normally with your sword, which it took me, I had to watch someone playing casually to see that. Okay, this is photosensitivity warning. This is bad.
Heads up.
I mean, it's really harsh no matter what. I don't know why they decided to do that.
And we got time coming up, Emily, just so they know when to stop.
Yeah, this is the final boss.
Right.
It's gonna take a couple minutes.
No problem. Oh, that's right. Yeah, the phases. I remember now.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is like the deep social commentary of the game where like a toy is killing television. There's other weird stuff though, like a lot of your enemies are based on tea. Like a bunch of them were tea bags and like tea balls and stuff, which is kind of, I don't know what the deal is with this.
I mean, it's supposed to be for children, right? They're giving a message
Yeah.
out there. What are they trying to say?
I don't know what the deal is. So like the Japanese version of the second game starts with this boss also, in addition to it being at the end. So this phase is kind of, oof. This phase is really trolly. Actually hitting these hands is like, it's they're, you have to hit them when they're slightly ahead of where they look like they need to be. If I'm really fast, I can get the arm while it's still in the upper right before it goes into that blender motion, but that's pretty difficult to do. Oh, wow. Okay, there we go. I don't know how I got out of that. Normally that's it. When you get stuck in that, you're just gonna take like 2 or 3 damage. Also, why is it flashing a picture of Pepper's grandfather? That can't be, oh, be a team player on that one too. That can't be foreshadowing or anything.
Not at all.
Just a couple more hits. There we go. See, that's what you should do every single phase. Time. So there you go.
GG.
That was an okay run. I wish we hadn't gotten that death on the kitchen, but that was pretty good. So that's Clockwork Knight.
Great job, Emily. What a run. What a fun game.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that run.